Charlie Baker, Harley Johnson and Loren Lockman, three wise old men that will tell you how you should eat. Now, their mental and physical health does not match up to their claims, but that's fine. As long as you can sell an idea with conviction, it's all good. Now, I call them the crazy trinity of bad diet advice. And today I want to talk about the least crazy of them all, Loren Lockman. Loren Lockman's philosophy is that you should eat as little as possible. Now, he's not anorexic, although if you would look at him, you would have your doubts about that. And, yeah, he promotes the idea of long-term fasts and basically living a minimalistic life. Now, there are some things that I like about him, and what I want to say is, like, it's not as if everything that Loren Lockman says is pure garbage. There is some truth to what he says, and actually, his protocol is worthwhile for some people, and I will get to that later. What I also like about him is that he is like, he preaches the opposite of what Durian Rider preaches, and he actually, like in terms of weight loss, actually has good results. So, you know, Durian Rider loves to say, like, oh, if you eat as much as possible, you will lose weight, and if you calorie restrict, you will gain fat. And like, Loren Lockman is a good example that shows that that is just not the case. So that's what I like about him. And also, like, in personality wise, like, he's the most bearable, like Loren, that is. And like, he's just not much of a prick. Like, I can't say the same about Harley and Charlie. So not only is Loren Lockman's philosophy that you shouldn't eat anything above 1500 calories a day, and even that is a little bit much in his opinion, he also preaches the idea that you should do some long-term fasting. You should go weeks without food. And that's fine. That's fine. That's healthy. Now, like I said, pretty much with all these crazy diet ideas, they have some good points, okay? Like, not everything they say is crazy. There's a little bit of truth in all of these, well, insane ideas and all these insane diets. The truth here being is that long-term fasting can be beneficial for some conditions. For example, if you are severely overweight, then doing a 30-day fast will be mostly beneficial. If you have like an extra 50 pounds on your frame, then going for a 30-day fast will probably not be much of a problem. Actually, it has been shown that it usually has no bad or ill effects on the body, and if anything, it improves a lot of markers in the body. However, if you are skinny and you don't have a lot of extra weight on your frame, then fasting is pretty dumb. Well, you know, long-term fasting, that is. And what you consistently see with Loren Lockman's clients, like Loren Lockman, he doesn't sell ebooks as far as I know, but what he does sell is resorts. Fasting resorts. Now, these are pretty expensive, and he can sell them as pretty expensive because I guess that there are not many people that give out these resorts. So he kind of has a monopoly on them. At least on the way that he does it. And, you know, he sells these resorts and they give him a lot of money. So of course he sells you the idea that these fastings are beneficial for everyone. I think, except if you have like type 1 diabetes. He's honest enough to admit that it doesn't work for, or that it is that it's bad for people that have certain conditions. But the thing is, what you see a lot with these clients, the clients that are not overweight that go and do these protocols, you know, many of them have YouTube channels. And they get on YouTube and then they show the results after months of doing that protocol, and hey, what do you know? Their digestion is so fucked up that they basically can't eat anything. They have no energy. They're losing hair by the masses. Like, they can just pull out just whole strokes of hair, and it's pretty ridiculous. It's clearly a sign of, well, some serious malnourishment. And, you know, the damage has been done. It's like, a protocol like that does some serious damage. And I'd even wonder if you can, like, completely heal from that in a reasonably short amount of time. Depending on your age, you might be fucked for life. Again, this goes for people that are already not very overweight. I recall one girl, and she was... I don't know, like she was not like overweight, at least. And she did this protocol, and as a result her health suffered tremendously. And it was so bad that she, you know, contacted Loren Lockman or his associates, and they told her, oh, come in for, you better just come to the resort another time, because you have such a serious condition that you have to come back and you have to try this again. So, and that was absolute horseshit. Like, before she did the resort, her condition wasn't that bad. She had some health issues, and I guess, like, they were bad enough that she decided to fast for 30 days. But afterwards, the conditions got far worse, got way worse, and Loren Lockman's idea is, oh, just come back for another fast. Like, that's interesting. With these crazy ideas, if it goes south, if it goes bad, you know, if the result is bad on one of these diets, these, you know, the insane trinity will always tell you, oh, just eat more sugar. Oh, just fast longer. Eat more saturated animal fat. Like, it's always, it's never the fault of the protocol that they advocate. It's always that you just didn't do the protocol enough. That's always the answer 100% of the time. So this woman was smart enough to not go back. And also, like, if you listen to the stories of some of the people that go there, like, it's pretty horrific. Like, people that are on the verge of going to the hospital, like, that shit happens all the time. People that start to piss like black liquid. Almost sounds like an exorcism, but you know, people that like you know, that gets to the point of having nearly kidney failure and stuff like that. It's pretty horrifying. It's pretty horrible, and those are the things that happen with the Loren Lockman protocol. I mean, he is the most likable of the three people, but his advice is probably the most insane. It's probably the most destructive. Unless, again, like, you know, like, it depends on the individual. If you are very overweight, if you have, like, diabetes or something, and you're, like, 50 pounds overweight, then, yeah, it could help. It could be of tremendous help. Tremendous help. So then what does Loren Lockman promote you to eat? He promotes a diet of nothing but fruit and leafy green vegetables. Like lettuce. That's what he promotes. That's a nice angle. That's what he promotes. Now, I've already explained this in my last video, but if you end up being in a position where you have to fast for a prolonged period of time, most likely you will end up eating some weird stuff just to come by. Okay? You're not going to only depend on leafy greens and fruit. So, that's one thing you have to consider. You will end up eating tree bark. You will end up eating clay. You will end up eating shit. Okay? Like, I don't really know why he thinks that humans would only eat those two things. I think it's based around the idea that monkeys mostly eat things like that. But if you would start eating like a monkey, you would start eating shit, you would start eating insects, you would start eating nuts. He has a problem with nuts and seeds. Apparently he thinks that while other monkeys would eat nuts and seeds and insects, humans are not made for that, for some weird reason. Okay, very inconsistent. I also like his like, he also once did a video where he said, like, people would only eat by daylight, and I agree with that. But his opinion is that we would only eat by daylight because if you would eat an apple, you would not want to eat a potential insect that's in that apple. Like if there would be like caterpillars in that apple, you would want to know that there are caterpillars in that apple so that you would not eat the apple. Yeah, bullshit. If you're hungry and you're out in the wild and you find a caterpillar in an apple, you don't give a shit. You will eat the motherfucker up. Okay? So absolute crap in that sense. Like he has like some very weird ideas that, like, if you really start thinking about them, they don't make sense at all. Now again, like, not everything he says is insanity, and he has a few good points, few interesting philosophies when it comes to nutrition, just like all these people have. And really, he is a little bit more sober than Charlie Baker and Harley Johnson, but it's still insane. It's still really bad what he promotes, and again, like he would never eat a diet of solely fruits and like leaves like this, like easy to digest leaves. Bullshit. Would never happen. Okay? You would never ever do that. You would eat whatever you would find just to come by. And especially, like, what I find weird is, like, he says, like, when he eats, like, a bowl of nuts and seeds, he gets, like, a bad reaction. He's so sensitive that he can't eat a bowl of nuts and seeds. It will just make him ill. And he says, like, he will get enough fat. And you know how I think about fat and protein. But he thinks that, like, getting... I suppose that he thinks that if you get like 2 grams of fat a day, that's fine. That's enough to get your vitamins and minerals in check. That's enough to get your vitamin A. To promote absorption. Now, the thing is that if you end up being like 100 pounds, then it's true that you will require a lot less vitamin A than if you're, for example, 150 pounds. So it's true that if you fast, your needs will become less. I guess that's true. I recall something. I recall that a woman, or actually I'm not sure, a woman or a guy asked him, so women need 12% body fat to give birth. So wouldn't it be bad for them to fast for a prolonged period of time? And his response was very fittingly, well, 12% is necessary to give birth. I would hardly consider that necessary for them to live. Yeah, you're losing some bodily functions by doing this protocol, but who cares? You're still alive, aren't you? I mean, hey, I don't have to have erections. I don't have to be above 8% body fat. I don't have to be able to procreate, but hey, as long as I'm still alive, it's just fine, right? Total insanity. Totally insane. So this is a dangerous protocol. This is not something you should follow if you are healthy or if you have like some minor issues. If you are very overweight or if you have some very serious issues and you have the fat reserves to do this, then yeah, okay, fine. I mean, in some cases it's beneficial. And Loren is probably like a lot more knowledgeable when it comes to fasting than I am. For sure. But if you want to get, but again, like, remember that there is money in this for him. So he is going to tell you that everyone benefits from it, okay? But if you are pretty healthy and you want to, improve your health and you want to do that through fasting, then fasting, a few times per week, even if it's like up to 24 hours or even like 48 hours, then yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Like, if you are well fed, if you are able to do that, that's fine. Like, you will get the same results. Like, I'm pretty sure you will get the exact same results if you would go and you would fast 3 days a week and you would do that for, let's say, 10 weeks. If you would be able to do that, I'm pretty sure you would get the exact same results, or nearly the same results. Or, well, no, not actually the same results. I mean, these results would actually be beneficial, but you would get the same health benefits as what a long-term fast would give you without many of the drawbacks, without many of the negatives. Because the thing is, if you are going to fast for a long period of time, you are going to fuck with a lot of bodily functions. That's just the truth. You are going to fuck with a lot of hormonal things in your body. You are going to fuck with a lot of your organs. And it's not something you should do for that reason for a long term. Now, again, if you're going to do, you know, the whole idea about fasting is that you give your body rest, right? If you're going to fast a few days in the week and you're going to do that for weeks upon weeks upon weeks, over time you've given your body the same amount of rest, okay? But you have actually given it some nutrition to, you know, to work with. If you don't give it anything at all, you're just not putting any oil in the engine. And you do require that. You also require that to, you know, heal the body, if you will. So that's my stance on how you should fast if you really want to do this for health benefits. Do some fasting. Don't go overboard with it. Again, it will give you the same benefits without the drawbacks. It will probably actually be more beneficial. And also you won't have to pay like thousands of dollars for a resort where you essentially, you know, you have to sit all day and you just don't have to eat all day, and, you know, you get a little extra sunlight. Fuck that. I mean, you go get yourself a cheap vacation in the south for, I don't know, 1/10 of the price, and, you know, go and fast there or whatever, you know. Like, you don't have to pay thousands of dollars for this crap. And yeah, that's my opinion on Loren Lockman. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Ryan Little.